the connection, the controllers.
Countdown on the clock again. Feel like I'm playing in a game that I can never win. Time is running out, I know I gotta make a choice. So many whispers in my ear that I can't hear my voice.
Alright guys, it is Wednesday morning and we are at our local flea market looking for video games and cool stuff for the collection. First stop at the flea market and we find us a nice little Sony Cyber Shot for only $5. The same vendor that had the Sony CyberShot had several bins of DVDs, so we're always on the lookout for out-of-print DVDs, Blu-rays, and of course video games. Unfortunately, on this flea market trip, I still did not have my GoPro, but we were able to walk around and find some pretty cool stuff. It started to rain just a little bit right before I got to the flea market, so I think that a lot of people were anticipating this, so they didn't show up.
Oh. Yeah, nasty.
Amazon, Walmart, Target. You know, I can spend money with things in no good basket. Buy here and save half off. If you buy more than one, I'm going to use that at 50%. Don't get no cheaper. Don't get no cheaper. I got exclusive stuff. If you want to find it, you can have Walmart. You can call it home. I don't know what's exclusive.
By this point in the trip, I was starting to really lose hope that we would find anything worth picking up, whether it be for the collection or to flip online to help build the collection, what have you. And then we walk up to a lady's table who had two random horror DVDs. And once I picked them up, she asked if I was looking for anything else. And we started having a conversation. I said, I like video games, I like movies. And then she said, walk back to my trunk.
The connection, the controllers. Look for it. I know I got the games, the control, two controllers, and the controllers ain't good controllers.
All right. Took a little bit of a gamble right here at the end of my time at the flea market. Again, no GoPro today. This PS4 looks super gross.
Oh, that's nasty.
But I don't come across the white ones very often. She asked me what I'd offer on it. I said, because of the condition, $50. She then pulls out a handful of games. That one's got some top scratches. That one's no good. This one is the Steelbook of Shadow of War. And I've never owned that Steelbook, so that was pretty cool. So that kind of had my interest. We have God of War, that's a good one. We've got Skyrim, that's a double mint right there. We've got Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. The red PS4 controller, I mean, it's a little dirty. But other than that, I mean, everything feels nice and tight, like it's in good condition. We'll see if it's got mega stick drift and things like that. And then this is kind of what sold me. This controller, I've never owned one of these controllers. It's got some gamer gunk on the bottom. Disgusting. So I ended up paying 80 bucks for that. It's not a terrible deal. Sold comps, sorry for all the soccer dirt in the back. Sold comps on these on eBay, we're going for about 120 plus shipping. So it's not like a huge flip if I do flip it. I did see someone had a ETB full of Pokemon cards. I didn't see any V's or any hits. So that's just bulk for the little guy. I paid $8 for that. I got a stack of these. This dude threw in like these heavy metal magazines and a couple games for $10. And then this right here was, nope, that's not the one. This one. This right here, I found a copy of NCAA Basketball 09 for $3. It was loose. So that's a $15 hit, you know. And then the big pickup today, $5 for Sony CyberShot with all of the stuff. So not a terrible flea market trip, not a lot of money to flip, but hey, some of this will go in the personal collection, some of that's going to go double mint, and that controller is going, as long as it works good, in the personal.
All right, guys, so we went live on Whatnot last night. As of editing this video, we showed off the PS4. We cleaned it up really nice, cleaned up the controllers, tested it. It was working great. We installed some games, bundled some games with it, and we ended up selling it on Whatnot for $100. It was the console, the red controller, and a couple loose games. So it sold really fast on Whatnot. And guys, if you have not yet, go check out Whatnot. We have our code down in the description. You get $15 for your first purchase, and you can spend it with anybody, and Whatnot is an amazing platform to buy and sell.
All right, so the last couple pawn shops I went to were absolute booty. They wanted way too much for their stuff. So. All right, next big stop of game hunting. Pretty decent. We ended up spending $92 and we got the World Champions, the NES World Championship Edition. That one's a good one. Didn't have that one. She actually gave that one to us for $20. Paid $5 for Horizon 2. That's going to double mint. Shadows of the Damned. This is a clean copy too. So super excited to see that in the wild. Never come across this one. So that's exciting. Fight Night Championship. Look at there. Boom. NCAA 14. Now, a year ago, a little over a year ago, this would have been a $100 hit. That's about a $40 game now. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. NBA 2K14. Oddly enough, price charting has this one at like $17. So not a bad pickup there. LA Noire. That was always a good one. Life is Strange. We got Spider-Man. This one needs a case replacement for that. Another double mint joint. And then I picked this one up for my son, even though technically he plays Rainbow Six all the time and doesn't need it. But since we're making a deal, $92 for all of that. Not a bad pickup. All right, next stop. Bingo.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah.
All right, last pawn shop of the day before we gotta get back to work. We got a DSi. Let's go. So we paid $40 for that one. That's gonna go to double mint. We got a couple loose ones. Master Chief Collection, Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition, Persona 5 Royale, Fallout 4, and Minecraft. Fallout 4, Minecraft are gonna go to double mint as well. Not too bad. We paid $80 for that. All right, we are back at the house. Here is the recap of what we picked up from the flea market and the pawn shops. This does not include our GameStop trips. Those GameStop games have already been processed and put down, and they're ready to go for tonight's Whatnot auction. So starting off, looks like we're gonna keep this copy of Shadows of the Damned. This is a nice clean copy. We picked us up a Sony CyberShot, always a pickup. This one came actually with the bag, the manual, all the connections, everything for $5. So that was our first pickup of the day. Super excited about that. We've got this NES World Championship Edition. That is really cool. We ended up getting this for $20. Price charting has about 45 or something like that. So that one will go up for grabs, most likely. We got this copy of NCAA Basketball 09 for $3. I think we got this for $1. We picked up a handful of games at the pawn shops. So we got our nice little stack that's going to go to Double Mint right here. And then everything else we're keeping either for the collection or for whatnot. So this Steelbook edition of Shadow of War, on the fence about this one. It's a really, really sweet Steelbook. But since we paid a little more than I wanted to for the PS4, this one might actually go up for grabs. If any of these survive whatnot, we might actually keep some of them. We've got God of War. We've obviously got Resident Evil. I think we actually had Alien Noir, and somebody asked for it one night and whatnot, so we'll keep that one. Rainbow Six Extractions for my son, and then these are up on the fence about that. We got a couple of loosies here. I don't even remember. I think we got these loose games, this one, and then the heavy metal and the Black Sad magazine comic book things for all that was like a $10 bundle. So nothing crazy there. We did get a loose copy of Master Chief Collection, and we got a copy of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's going to be bundled with the console. This red controller is going to stay with it. This is going to stay with us because this is actually why I ended up pulling the trigger on this console. Didn't have that controller. We got to clean the gamer gunk out of it, and then this still needs to be hit. I wiped it down because it had like some just dirt and prints on it. We're going to test it, and then we're going to hit it with a magic eraser, and then we're going to send it off. We're also most likely going to send off this DSi to Double Mint as well and recoup a little bit of what we spent today. We got a bonus game in there, Crime Lab. So there we go. Not a terrible day out game hunting. Wasn't really expecting to find much. It was actually raining on the way to the flea market. And so I was like, well, I'll go make my deal that I had set up with my boy Les. Shout out to Patriot Games Media. And then while we were there, we found a few things. And then we're like, hey, while we're out, let's go hit some pawn shops. So thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll catch you on the next one.